Good morning, friends and family. It is Monday, August the 24th, and this is your Monday message. So, if you've been watching the news this weekend or turned it on this morning, you know that there are two storms, Marco and Laura, that are on a projected path to hit the Gulf Coast regions, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. They're looking at different possible landfalls. And it just occurs to me, all the discussion and speculation about how two hurricanes hitting at the same time hasn't happened before. This is a historical, monumental moment. The two could share forces from one another. They could pick up steam. They could strengthen and benefit from one another. There's theories that one could weaken the other. Just experts. It just occurs to me that the year 2020 is a year that if something could happen, it's going to happen. Between coronavirus and now these two storms, a historical event, it just seems like all that could happen is happening, and it's history right before our very eyes. We'll look back on this year and say, a lot happened, but it also reminds me of the expression, the perfect storm. So there was a movie, I guess about 20 years ago now, that it's actually based on a true event, based on a true story. I think it happened. The event happened in 1991, somewhere in there, and it was three storms that collided, creating this very phenomenal storm that affected the lives of these mariners that displayed great bravery and courage and were dedicated to their career. And the movie, of course, has George Clooney and Wahlberg. It's a great movie, but it got me to thinking about how we can see things that are happening before us and all the events, and we can say that it's creating the perfect storm, which has a negative connotation. It has a fearful connotation. It speaks of the imminent threat. But there's another way to look at that same situation, like the year 2020, and we can look at it and say, wow, the fields are white with harvest. We can look at the opportunities that are before us, that because of coronavirus, because of the hurricanes, because of all this happening, maybe people are more receptive to the good news because of the bad news. Maybe people are more open to being invited to church, to being asked, how can I pray for you? Perhaps this has caused them to think about the world. Perhaps this has caused people to think about the purpose of life. Maybe it's caused them to think about the end of times. It, to me, creates a lot of great opportunities, and I believe that's what Jesus was expressing in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 9, when he said this in verse 37. He says, then he said to his disciples, the harvest is abundant, or the field is white with harvest, but the workers, the laborers, are few. So the field was ready. The harvest was ready to be collected, but the laborers, the people that would do the work, were few in number. So he says, therefore, pray to the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into the harvest to help with this great harvest, to help be the laborers to collect and receive this. So that's the way I'm looking at the year 2020. It's all about your perspective. It's all about how you look at things and the attitude of your heart. Okay, yes, these are strange days. Yes, these are perilous times. But that gives us as the church, that gives us as the followers of Christ, great opportunity, great advantage to do more, to love more, to serve more, to tell more. So remember this. Stay faithful, stay focused. God bless you.